He cheated on me first. I forgave him. We went on to have a couple of children, and later on in our marriage, we decided to start swinging with the couple next door. Partaking in that swinging blurred any boundary of monogamy that we had previously had. While we were swinging, we became heavily involved in drinking. While we were drinking, I eventually had an affair and got pregnant. I told him that I had the affair. I told him I got pregnant. I told him I wanted to keep the baby. He said, hey, I'll raise the baby as my own, since the biological father wanted nothing to do with her. Little did I know that behind the scenes he was having an affair with my mother, and they were mustering up this whole plan on how they were going to take my children from me and go live happily ever after. We both cheated on one another, but I never deserved for my mother to betray me in the manner that she did.
Yikes. Well, good luck with all that.
Oh, looks like someone's ordering up a modern woman's lunch special. It's a sandwich made up of the finest hand-picked excuses, served with an organic side of word salad, and deep-fried lies coming with a steaming cup of fresh Coke. And it comes at the reasonable price of a lifetime's worth of human dignity. This is just such a messed up story all around, and I personally never understood the concept of swinging myself. It just seems like too much complicated work in exchange for the inevitable implosion of what little is left in the relationship. Just listen to what you said, woman. You dragged innocent bystanders into your irresponsible behavior in the form of your children. Both of you decided that your pleasure was more important than deciding to create a stable home for those kids. So you made things worse by having an affair and getting preggers with another man's child, leading to the father wanting to get his kids the hell out of this messed up situation, which begs the question, is there an actual situation where open relationships actually work?
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
I just wanted to tell you I put myself back on a dating app. Here's what I'm doing differently. I'm just saying I'm doing differently. Is I am not looking for matches.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
I am waiting for the matches to come to me, right? So then if they like me, and it's only on one app, it's a free app. If they like me and I think it's a match, I'll like them back. And then I wait for them to do the conversation.
Great plan.
Thank you.
He likes your plan, Chief.
Yeah, I don't see a scenario where that actually works. Dating apps are pretty much the digital manifestation of hell. It ranks up there with social media apps and whatever app your human resources department forces you to use. There comes a point where sending messages on an app becomes extremely draining for the average dude, and if you're an average guy who's still foolish enough to be on these apps, sending the first message either ends with complete silence, one-word responses, or a bot that's spamming them for money. Waiting for the other party to message typically shows genuine interest, and only then can a conversation have a chance of commencing. Either that or they see the match and realize they only liked you by mistake, they were drunk, or bored, so they don't bother because it's not worth the hassle. So the onus of starting these messages is going to fall on women every single time. Even though the women have changed the rules when it comes to this stuff, they still refuse to play by the new regulations that they set, thus leading to the apps being a complete waste of time.
I wait for them to start. It's like crickets. They don't start. I'm not starting the conversation, people. It's kind of like if you open the door for me. No, wait, that's a bad analogy. It's kind of like if you wave to me and I wave back, you're waving to me because you want to start a conversation, I would think, but you're not. You're just hanging out. I don't care. I'm just going to wait.
Congratulations!
You gotta love it when a modern woman, with her own words, disproves her own theory and then shuts down what she's saying instead of admitting that she's just wrong. If a man waves at you, considering that he's actually not waving at the attractive woman who's standing behind you, what's stopping you from walking over and actually talking to him? I'll give you a hint.
Nothing! Absolutely nothing! Stupid! You're so stupid!
You're not frustrated that men aren't initiating messages with you. It's the fact that you're old and in denial that men don't find you desirable. You don't want to face the harsh reality that you're not exactly desired by men, so them messaging you first is all about boosting your already dusty ego. And that's kind of a lost cause. You've reached the point in life where, how do I put this delicately? A man's desire to see you without any clothes on can only be achieved when that man is desperate, in a dark room, and under the influence of copious amounts of alcohol, and that is your best case scenario.
That's funny because it's so true.
I am looking for a guy in general. 2 eyes, taller than me, has a job, knows how to treat a lady. I'm looking for a guy in general. 2 eyes, taller than me, has a job, knows how to treat a lady. Pretty much any decent guy, I'll take. Hit my DMs.
No.
You're asking for too much, sister. It's not because of the fact that you're discriminating against men who have suffered catastrophic eye injuries, even though that does make you kind of a bigot. It's not what you're saying that makes you less of a catch. It's what you're not saying. Answer me this. If you're genuinely looking for a guy with these minimal qualities, then why are you alone right now? At any point in your life, you could have had yourself a dual-eyed, gainfully employed, respectful man. Self-respecting men are going to be asking and answering this question on your behalf. They don't need your excuses. The answer is fairly obvious. In your youth, you did not want those men. You wanted either a bad boy, a CEO, or Tyron Solo. And you still want that particular man. But he's too busy with younger, more attractive, and more fertile women. He's not interested in your used goods, and sister, you've seen more used in a trough urinal during nickel beer night at a minor league baseball game, so don't be surprised if your applicants are simps and desperately lonely men. Frankly, darling, you should consider yourself lucky if you're even capable of locking down one of those dudes.
Good luck.
What is your hidden talent?
I'm really good at sports betting.
Sports betting?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a history of it. I don't even know like where it came from. But I'm really good at like putting picks together and like, you know, parlay and whatnot. So yeah, and everybody calls me now. So it's become like a little thing that I didn't plan on. But
Wait, so you're good at sports betting? I didn't know this.
I didn't know it either.
Okay, so
I just was like, what? So one day it worked out, and then I just kept going with it. Trust your intuition, girl.
how many have you hit?
I haven't any myself personally. I do it for other people, but they always win.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm lucky. Who'd have thought?
Nice.
Do you accept cash?
So your idea of a talent is randomly guessing the outcome of sporting events and telling other people to bet money on those teams? This just leads me to another question. Let's just say you have an associate who's too embarrassed to consider you his friend, and this associate of yours has ties to the mob and has been making backroom bets on sporting events. Now you follow your gut and tell him to bet on one squadron to win the big baseball match. And let's say that your foolproof strategy fails miserably and forces your friend to go out on the lam the second he hears that Pinky Three Eyes and his hammer want to have a friendly little chat. At that point, would you still consider that to be a talent? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say probably not. Just one look at that vacant face of yours and we can all tell that it would be a miracle if you even knew the difference between ice hockey and baseball. So for your sake and the sake of your associate's toes, you should probably stop betting on sports and stick with what you know, which is painfully little.
I know it, your family knows it. Dogs know it.
If you truly want to be magnetic, you truly want people to literally be obsessed with your energy, everyone just wants to be friends with you, guys are obsessed with you, people just like smile at you and give you princess treatment all the time, start doing things that put you on fire for life. Start wearing outfits that make you feel feminine, make you feel really good about yourself. Start getting dressed in the morning in a way that makes you feel so beautiful and like the best version of you. Stop doing things that don't make you happy. Like stop prioritizing things that don't make you happy and start seeing that as your new priority. And I promise you, your energy will literally blast off. Like,
What does that even mean?
Oh, sister, you really got to start listening to us. We have been telling you for years that we are incapable of providing you with princess treatment. It is a nightmare from the legal standpoint alone. It involves practically selling you off to either a foreign noble or a distant cousin in exchange for money, resources, and additional troops in the event of a rebellion or invasion. Even if we spent the hours it took to find enough loopholes to make that even an option in the legal sense, I don't know about you, but I don't really know anybody in the noble class. I just don't. In order to become that wealthy and powerful, it requires centuries worth of conquest and war profiteering. And even if I did have those resources, all those dudes are European, and what makes you think I want to hang out with European nobles? Do you honestly think I had the time to learn European languages and cultures? Of course not. And even if all of this were possible, I still wouldn't do it because giving you princess treatment would require me to own you. And that's immoral, misogyny, and patriarchy. And I, for one, would not be able to live with myself if I did that.
Just doing those small things already makes you feel so much better. But if you want to actually do the inner work and you really want to propel yourself to become the most feminine, magnetic, happiest, sexiest version of yourself, what I recommend you do is use the princess treatment formula. And if you don't know what that is, this is basically a guide that I downloaded that literally walked me through exactly how to activate my feminine energy in any moment, at any time, with anybody. Taught me exactly how to act in my feminine energy, how to speak in my feminine energy, literally gave me word for word scripts to just get whatever I want. And this will have people falling head over heels for you. This will have guys literally being like obsessed with you and always feeling like their most masculine self, so they always want to give you princess treatment, literally provide for you. Like, the girls are saying that their men automatically are becoming more obsessed, giving them princess treatment. And
we're on express elevator to hell, going down.
You know, this kind of stuff keeps getting more and more interesting to me. Modern women are so inept when it comes to people that they literally need a step-by-step guide and scripts in order for them to give the appearance of femininity. And it's being advertised as a way to get free stuff and endless amounts of attention. Which is hilarious to me because the endless amount of attention to these chicks is what got us in this social disaster in the first place. Now, I agree. We need more feminine women in the world right now. But doing it with the intention of getting a massive swarm of people to obsess over you is just a terrible idea. You already have that, and look where it got you. You have nothing to offer except average looks, no real homemaking skills, and a lack of a rudimentary vocabulary. Now, I know this might seem as a shock to many of you, but I am in fact not a woman. Now you know my shame. So unlocking the feminine energy is not exactly my bag. But I think I'm more than qualified to say that there's more to being feminine than dressing a certain way and demanding a man's resources. But to be fair, I haven't repeated the words princess treatment over a dozen times in the last 60 seconds. So what the hell do I know?
if you want to get instant access to that, it's linked in my profile for all the girlies. And all the girls who are getting instant access to it right now are also getting the 3.0 version of it for free. But being in your feminine energy is all about just tapping into your childhood self. All about tapping into being carefree, being happy, being on fire for life, and also being on fire for you, and being in love with yourself, and just learning how to portray that out so that other people can see it, and then they start treating you like you're a literal goddess. They start worshiping you. That's why I recommend doing those things and then using the princess treatment formula so you can portray it so people can actually start treating you like the queen that you are, start giving you princess treatment, and you're welcome.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
You know what? It's a pretty bold strategy to try to convince people that you're a divine entity, with the tax exemption status alone making it all the more appealing. But my question is, do you really want to be worshipped? That seems like an awful lot of pressure, and I really don't think you're up to the task. What are you going to tell your congregation when they start asking you for your divine wisdom? They'll be looking for theological insights into the nature of a man's soul and what it means to actually be a good person. And what if you get some folks who decide to start a crusade in the Holy Land in your name? That's a lot of bloodshed, just so men will open the door for you. And let's not forget the miracles. If you're going to be worshipped as a goddess, you will be required to perform divine acts of an almost impossible nature. Now, a lot of folks think I'm crazy to worship the intergalactic space god Plopature, all hail, because of the divine mandate to play Russian roulette with intergalactic space Armageddon, but he's the divine entity that protects over owner's manual and keychains. And since being adopted as a certified lieutenant in his golden tabernacle, I have yet to lose either one of those. And I used to misplace them all the time, so I think the gamble is worth it. But I like to think I have an open mind, so I'll give you the opportunity to prove me wrong, lady. Start by making a peanut butter sandwich. If you could do that without screwing it up royally, then that will truly be a miracle. And that is going to do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button. Ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, and share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents. You are fantastic. And until next time, peace out, homies.